Hi, welcome to the third 6 week curriculum collaboration for first grade. The third 6 weeks will start on December 7th and go until January 29th. In this collaboration, we'll be talking about some upcoming standards, some changes to the curriculum, and additional kind of how-tos and knows that are really important for you as teachers in first grade coming up. So thank you for being here. Let's get started. In first grade, we have three resources we have for you on campus or virtual online, and those are your strategies for guided math. Those are binders out on your campus already. You have the Orgo access that you need, and then one new thing that we put in there for you are the hands-on standards. And so we'll be talking about that a little bit later on about how to access it and how you might be able to use it in classroom for first grade. So in the unit 3, we have subtraction up to 20, then we have addition and subtraction relationships. So two kind of subtopics within unit 3. Before we get too far into the collaboration, you'll have noticed that there are a lot of updates and changes to the first grade scoping sequence. Though the units aren't changed and we haven't changed them, and I don't think we're going to change them, we've added some supplemental documents in there and helped to delineate, disaggregate, deconstruct those standards for you so that you can better use that information to help you plan and sequence learning for your classroom in your class for your kids. So you'll see we still have the same units, but you'll notice that we now have the weeks taken away at the very top. So you won't have those weeks 1, 2, weeks 3, 4 for first grade. Instead, you'll have the topics right here that are now linked to a document that sort of goes through foundations of the numbers and how you might be able to approach that. Starting here, then going here, then going here. We've kind of already deconstructed that teak for you and sequenced it so that you can then take it and deconstruct it into those learning objectives for the classroom. And we've added some suggested days to them also for you. And so that's there. Underneath each topic, we've put the DOLs. Now we've recreated some DOLs for you, and they're anywhere between 1 and 10 for each of those topics to be used. And you're free to use them however you'd like. Put them in your Google Classroom, take them and cut them into pieces and use them for each day. They're free for you to use how you'd like them for best learning in your classroom. Additionally, we've put the hands-on standards student pages under each module or under each subtopic. And so these right here, the lessons are out of order, and it's because whenever you click on these student pages, they go to the folder for that topic. So if we were to click um, over here for subtraction comparison, well, this may go to numerical or operations and numbers and things like that, but it may be in a separate folder. So the lesson's unimportant. Just know that when you click that, it goes to a folder, and you are supposed to scroll down until you find lesson 13 and it'll match up. Now, if you want to do it a different way, we have the teacher's edition right here, the hands-on standards, and this is all the teacher notes, and I think it's anywhere from 3 to 4 pages for each student page. So if you click here, you can find the lesson you want to use, and that's going to be on page 56 in this book, or page 24 in this book. So again, the blue links right here are student pages, whereas this box right here is the teacher edition for you. Um, so that's how you can use it right there. So you'll notice the weeks are no longer there. The subtitles have trajectories on there. We have the hands-on student teacher page, and we have the hands-on student pages and the DOLs. And it's imperative that you understand that these aren't required for you to use. As you're working with your PLCs and seeing how you want to attack each topic, if you've used Orgo or if for whatever reason Orgo isn't the best for that topic for that day, you're free to go and look at those other hands-on standards lessons to see if those better hit the mark with your kids, or to use an extension or remediation or intervention. They're there for you to use as needed. So let's get started into the first unit, or the first part of Unit 3. And so that is subtraction up to 20. And so some of the standards we have, as always, 1-3A, concrete and pictorial models, up to 99. 1-3B, pictures to solve. And this is probably one of the more important ones, even though it's not a readiness. It's imperative that your kids know that 2 plus 4 equals something, 3 plus something equals 7, and 5 equals something minus another. It's imperative your kids know that the adding can be on either side of the equation, and that goes into that fluency kind of piece of your students being able to manipulate numbers, knowing that 2 plus 4 equals 6 is the same as 4 plus 2 equals 6, and that's the same as 6 equals 2 plus 4, 6 equals 4 plus 2, and then kind of the inverse, which would be 6 equals 8 minus 2, 6 equals 7 minus 1. or 7 minus 1 equals 6, all those pieces and that fluidity going back and forth. We also have 15D, and that's representing the word problems up to 20, and then 15E, understanding the equal sign means the relationship, same value on either side, and 15F, determining those unknown pieces. And those unknown can be either add-in, either minuend, or subtrahend, or it can be the total sum or the difference on the other side. We have vocabulary right there and some prior learning. So in kindergarten, they're developing that skill of subitizing, just meaning they can see a quantity and know what it is automatically. And then also composing, decomposing numbers up to 10, using a variety of objects and pictures. We wanted them to have a really strong ability to manipulate the number 10. Um, in this unit, there are no assessments, but we do have 3 DOLs you can be using, and that's the add, subtract up to 10, add, subtract part 2, and then add, subtract part 3. Some essential questions for this unit right here, the subtraction of the 20, would be what strategies can you use to decompose 10, decompose 20? Remember, we're just going up to 20 for right now. How does the context of a problem situation affect representation? And this is really important and imperative as they go throughout their grades. It's important, and this is part of that disciplinary literacy we're going to be pushing out to y'all, is when students and teachers are reading a problem, if we're reading it like a mathematician, we're trying to see what is the problem asking us. And just because numbers are set in one order does not mean we're going to apply those numbers in a numerical representation or numerical equation in that order. And we're needing to understand the problem situation. Is it addition, subtraction for older grades, multiplication, division? Is it dealing with whole numbers, such and such going forward? In first grade, we're just dealing with addition, subtraction, and then understanding what is it asking us to do representationally. So another essential question could be what does the operation in a number sentence determine? What strategies can be used to find the difference or an unknown? What relationships exist between counting strategies and subtraction? We spent a good portion of the second 6 weeks on addition, so now we're connecting that to the inverse relationship, which is subtraction. When using subtraction to solve a problem, why can the order, the minuend, and subtrahend not be changed? That's imperative because that same statement for addition, why can the order of the add-ins be changed, is different, and it's imperative kids understand that. In first grade, we deal with whole numbers, only positive whole numbers, but when they get to middle school, that idea of change will be changed. Um, Additionally, some underdeveloped concepts would be that students may not recognize the difference between addition and subtraction just yet, and they may need help additionally with the context of that problem situation. And then some misconceptions may think that they can add and subtract in any order they want. Right now, again, in first grade, the rule in quotations is that bigger number subtracts smaller number. So when we're teaching our kids, make sure they understand that, but know also that that's how we're working with numbers now, but in older grades, you'll be able to change that around. But right now, let's focus on just this operation. So in the second part of Unit 3, we have addition and subtraction relationships. And so many of the content standards, vocabulary, and learnings previously are going to be the same. We're just extending that understanding to that inverse and making those connections explicitly. So one of the new tics we have right here would be 15G, applying properties of operations to add and subtract 2 or 3 numbers. Again, there are no upcoming assessments, but we do have 2 DOLs, and one of them is from the previous, add and subtract up to 20, and the new one would be operations connections. So essential questions are almost the exact same as before, with just that additional relational piece added. And so if you look at the very last few questions, when adding 2 non-zero whole numbers, why is the sum always greater than each of the add-ins? When using subtraction to solve a problem situation, why can the order of the minuend and subtrahend not be changed? And the very last one, when subtracting 2 non-zero whole numbers with the minuend greater than the subtrahend, why is the difference always less than minuend? Those are some great questions to make sure your kids grasp the material in the 6 weeks. Some underdeveloped concepts would be, again, that they may not recognize the difference between addition and subtraction based on the context. Some students may confuse the subtraction symbol and the addition symbol and the equal symbols because they may not fully understand the meaning of those from kindergarten. We had that gap from COVID. So making sure that they explicitly understand what those mean, and that some students may correctly determine related addition number sentences but have difficulty determining the subtraction sentences with those fact families. And then again, you can read through some of those misconceptions that they might have as well. For your resources, you have curriculum frameworks, instructional calendar, scope and sequence. And again, you don't have the unit guides, but we have those pieces in there. The trajectory is already broken down and deconstructed for you. You have Orgo, hands-on standards, and path blazers. And as always, you have your bit.ly LM resources folder that has the tutorial videos for Pathblazer, some additional videos from Orgo, and then just your housing of those documents and those resources. For those of you, for everyone actually using Pathblazer, if you've not already gone to a webinar, we have some coming up. We also have office hours with Haley Wall as one of the representatives. And you can find links to those and when they're going to be held and what times on our Math Google website. You can go to our district homepage, mathematics, and on the left column it'll say Google site, and you click the picture. Or you can go to bit.ly/FWISD math and it'll take you to the same page. This is found on the very homepage. You get there, you scroll down, and you'll see the links for them. And then some additional information about your regional contacts. If you need additional support or help with Pathblazer, Orgo, or just math in general, be sure to reach out to your coordinator for your region. So if you're in Region 1, you'll be with me, John Reed. Region 2, reach out to Adam Gutierrez. Region 3, Kenyal Carr, Mrs. Kenyal Carr. And Region 4, Mrs. Luana Jones. Thank you for being with us tonight, and we'll be talking to you soon.